I think first, when I think about today, I think about my grandparents. I think about the hell that they went through to survive. I think about how prosperous they were in the villages of Lac-Lazap and Gitxsan, and my grandparents on my dad's side up in the Peguis First Nation, how we were thriving as Indigenous people, and how colonizers came in and ripped that apart. And it wasn't too long ago. So I think the truth part is, I think there are many people in our society that want to get on with it as though that was yesterday and to move on. And there's an impatience to move on with the past, but you can't get to reconciliation without understanding the truth. And the truth is, I don't speak my language because it was beaten out of my grandparents. Many Indigenous people were taken from their families through the 60s scoop. There's so much to unpack, but I think when I reflect on today, I think about education. I think about Murray Sinclair, Justice Sinclair, who told us that education got us into this mess and it's going to get us out. I think about how I struggled so much in my life as an urban Indigenous person to go through all of these colonial institutions, making my way through 6 different high schools and all of the pieces that there's so many levels of oppression for people like me to not thrive and to not to make it through these systems. And so there's a lot on my mind today. I think about the kids in care. I think about people that are incarcerated. I think about the systems that have kept us down. And I think about my daughters today. I think about the fact that I'm still standing because my grandparents fought for me to be here. They sacrificed, they endured major oppression and disconnect, stolen from their culture and those thriving nations where we come from. And so the fact that I made my way into politics is really beyond me. I didn't choose a life of politics. I believe have been training my whole life to be an advocate for our people, that I've been entrenching systems my entire life. I always made people uncomfortable with the truth. I have no discomfort making people uncomfortable to hear the truth about the conditions of Indigenous people on our stolen land. And so was it easy? No, it wasn't easy. But there are many days that I made big changes that I'm incredibly proud of. I made that change because people had my back. I made that change because there was a call to action for things like the first Indigenous law school at UVic, which was Article 50 of the TRC, or Article 16 to have a language fluency degree. There are so many things that my eagle feathers touched by way of being a politician, and I did my level best to be an advocate for our people, and I will continue. And I hope that more Indigenous people like Joan, Phillip, and other First Nations matriarchs go into those institutions and make people uncomfortable about the things that we need to change, and that we start to bring that social, environmental, and economic justice back to our communities, because it is our God-given right. It is our self-determination. And I think that Canadians need to stop being so sensitive about, I think there's a sensitivity out there about this guilt that people are expecting us to get over. I don't need to get over the guilt of what happened. I accept the fact that I don't speak my language, but allies need to start stepping up to the plate and realize that they need to start paddling with Indigenous people across Turtle Island to bring back that prosperity and those thriving nations that I believe Joan will probably speak about in her grandfather's eyes. My grandparents sacrificed so that I would have a better life. And as I close, I just think about my daughters today. And my daughter just graduated from BCIT yesterday as the only one, and she wore her regalia. But when we think about being the only one, we really have to start to take stock of that. How many white people say, oh, wow, there's only one white person that graduated today? How many Black people say, wow, there's only one Black person that graduated today? There's only one Chinese person that graduated today. There's only one South Asian person. Like, we really have to start doing the math And those truths make people uncomfortable. They resonate this feeling of discomfort, like, oh, Melanie, why do you have to be so profound? Because it's all about math. It's our land, and we need to start seeing our Indigenous people thriving, not in jails, not in foster care, not as murdered, missing Indigenous women, not seeing our land exploited, but to start really bringing that balance back into our society.